Hi. On one hand, you have the royalty oppressing its slaves, while on the other hand, you have a Westworld themed world where metal robots are slowly taking over people with flesh and blood. They are that scientifically advanced. This is Beyond the Father, Part 1 of the Gods on Trial series by Opisham Petros. This is a science fiction fantasy novel about the planet Zyber and the Zyberians who are at constant clashes with each other due to their ideological differences and beliefs. So you have the Central Kingdom ruled by King Theo and his Queen Marianne, who are oppressors of their own laborers, while the other area, the Submedian region, is ruled by Mollards or the robots who are taking over non-Mollards or the people of flesh and blood. What divides these two main areas is the area X, which is inhabitable due to its extreme weather conditions, and on top of all this, you have a god Flexix who is hell-bent on destroying his own creation, the Zyberians, because they do not believe in him nor do they worship him. Staying true to its genre, this novel is nothing short of a classical example of an ideal world building. You have an entirely separate planet with its own set of problems. You have an angry god, and this chaotic world is soon to experience his wrath. What I liked about this book is that many themes are explored throughout the story in the form of subplots and character arcs. For example, you have inequality in the form of the royalties laborers, where looking into one's own master's eyes is considered a heinous crime on one hand, while on the other hand, you have the mollards and the non-mollards, where scientific development is considered as supreme as opposed to the people's feelings and their independence. You have unexpected friendships in the form of Prince Anglid, King Theo's son, where he befriends his predator, the raptor, who in turn is in constant splits with his own principles and beliefs. You have ideological differences leading to a rebellion where non-mollards are determined not to become slaves to these heartless, more developed mollards. You have deep diving into philosophy and religion via God Flexix, who has created his own subconscious, firstly to get rid of his own boredom and loneliness, but later the to and fro and the conversations turn into something worth to think upon and ponder. And I personally had a hearty laugh at the camaraderie between them. Also, you have some gut punching quotes which just gives you the whole picture of a character's personality in one single sentence. For example, this quote is a classic example of what I'm trying to say. This is a conversation between the god Flexix and his conscience, all caps. Flexix inhaled and exhaled deeply, all caps, quote. Might it be that Anglet sees more with his one eye than you are able to see with all of yours? The author has also explored many backstories of a few characters, and this helped me to connect emotionally to these characters, especially the character of Thai, who is a soldier in the army of Mollards. So his story goes back when he was a non-Mollard and a special child, and this 9-year-old child is taken away forcefully from his parents into the army. He is intensely tortured physically, and his photos being sent to his parents, and finally he succumbs to his injuries and dies. And then he transcends into the world of Mollards after his death without a heart and thereby without any emotions. But in his story lies a little hope in this desolatory world which the author has painted beautifully, because he keeps on getting these glimpses of his previous lives, and after that he feels something inside of him. I don't know the reason why, but I got intensely into Thai's story that I would like to imagine myself in his character. I would like to experience that transcendence from being a person with flesh and blood to getting onto that other side without a heart and emotions, experiencing that undying bond with Thai's parents, still having that little hope that love will always win at the end. Though I love this book to the core, I was a little distracted by sudden jump cuts after each chapter, the switching back and fro from these four main areas, regions, or the worlds, whatever you call it. But as I was getting linked or emotionally connected, it abruptly ended at times, marking the end of a chapter, and the next chapter started off with another area or another world, and it kind of broke my connection after continuously reading a story. Also, there are so many characters and their backstories and the current state in which they are that sometimes it was hard to keep track of their stories and also their names, and it was a little mental exercise for me. But I hope that it comes all around in the following parts of this series. I'm also a bit disappointed because I hope that Princess Anya's story should have been explored in this book because she was such a badass character. But overall, there is everything and more that you can expect from a science fiction novel. So that's it from me today in this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.